I'm back from my short break with a week of Blender. Well, really, it was only 3 days, hence the title of this video, but you get the idea. Before we delve into my digital workspace, I wanted to treat my patrons with some coffee art. I've experimented with using coffee as a medium before, but I found it very translucent and difficult to really build up any color. So for this, I used about 1 tablespoon of instant coffee to 2 tablespoons of water. Even in its tar black state, it was still far less pigmented than I had imagined it would be. But I figured it out in the end. This moth and beetle are 2 original pieces destined for my Ophanim tier patrons. And a little later, I do a larger piece just for fun. The result of this one wasn't exactly as I had imagined, but that's okay. It reacted very similar to watercolor, but also not quite right. It's hard to put it into words, but the color built up very quickly, and even though it wasn't actually viscous, it felt thicker to paint with, if that makes any sense. The other thing when it comes to painting with coffee is something that Cinder found out for me. Turns out, if you splatter water on top of already dried coffee pigment and quickly soak it up with a paper towel, it removes any and all pigment. Turns out something in the coffee, perhaps its natural oils, reacts with gel pens. It made my white ink curdle like milk. But overall it turned out pretty nice. Alright, back to Blender. Now, I was still pretty intimidated by 7 pages of hotkeys, so I just opened up the sculpting section and started messing around. First, I just tried out all the brushes to figure out what they did, and yeah. To be clear, at this point I had never even opened up the program. And, well,
I feel like it's time for around and find out.
I then decided to attempt to make a simple skull. This, didn't really work out. So I just kept messing around until I carved out some eye holes that looked suspiciously similar to a ghastly. So now it was my mission to sculpt some sort of character face. I was struggling to do what I wanted to do during this process, but it was still super fun to just have some free will and mess around. Spoiler, that side profile, yeah, it never gets better. Sorry. Oh, and here's where I thought maybe she'd make a cute Batwoman chibi thing, which was definitely short-lived. I then decided she looked more like a fairy creature, which you'll see as I get into the painting stage turns into some sort of portals creature. And then I attempted to add a material, which failed miserably. But I felt really satisfied with myself, and the result of my first ever 3D sculpt. By no means is she perfect, but I'm fond of the result. Now, I really didn't want to start with the donut tutorial, because everyone starts with the donut tutorial. And so I didn't, but I quickly got stuck because the hotkeys weren't working. So I started the donut tutorial. I didn't record every step of this process simply because it would have been a ton of editing, and I just don't think it would be very enjoyable for you guys to watch. I'm literally following a tutorial step by exact step. So the parts that you do see are parts that I could just let loose and do whatever I wanted. But even then, I didn't record everything due to my recording software crashing all the time. Yay. I completed the model in just 2 days, but not without incident. There were many times that I would get stuck and just couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. But there was only one mistake that seemed so catastrophic at the time, it almost made me give up for the day. Looking back, I can't even recall what caused the distress, but in the moment it just felt like the end of the world. Initially, I wanted to embrace the unconventional choice of black frosting, which later on I would find funny as the series went on. However, it ended up resembling chocolate frosting rather than the dark and spooky aesthetic that I had envisioned. Which is fine, it's just not what I was going for. So I went for a light purple next, and it just looked like a sad, awful pink. It was when I added a metallic finish that I fell in love with the design all over again. I know this is a huge jump, but I just didn't feel like recording, okay? The reason I found the black frosting funny earlier is because the blender guru himself remarked that nobody would want a black donut. That would be too depressing. So, naturally, out of spite, I made myself a black donut. And I made quite a few variations of it as well. Let me know which one's your favorite. And time for the reveal. What do you mean, Blender kept crashing? You didn't even record it crashing? So you have nothing. You don't even have... What am I supposed to show them? Anyways, thanks for sticking around, and a huge round of applause to my patrons for being my hype men. If you want more content like this, or at least a finished product, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you.